All right, hello guys, man. Welcome to our first edition of the Premier Podcast. Y'all already know who it is, Demetrius Mason, joined by Dom, man.
What it do? Fly, he was flying.
Yeah, man, he's already been bothering you guys in the Madden chat, clearly. And
I'm having fun in there, man. It's gonna be a great season, y'all.
Yeah, it is going to be a great season. Hey, man, today I know you guys are asking for a lot of breakdowns, etc. We're going to do a lot more of that later as we head closer to the season. Right now, we're just going to do some of the players we thought were overrated, underrated from the top tens from each position, and we're just going to go from there. So let's get into it. We're going to start with the quarterbacks. As you guys all know, Patrick Mahomes, 99 overall. He was first. Tom Brady, second at 97. Rodgers, 96. Russell Wilson, 94. Lamar, 91. Deshawn, 90. Josh Allen, 88. Prescott, 87. Tannehill, 87. And Matt Ryan rounding out the top 10 at an 85 overall. Dom, what are your immediate thoughts on that, on those top 10 players?
So I was a little surprised that Aaron Rodgers was only a 96, considering he just won MVP and had one of the most, historic seasons for a quarterback of all time. Him being under, Tom Brady isn't the most surprising thing in the world, but I thought they'd at least be tied. I thought they would both be in 97 or so.
No, Brady always beats him.
I mean, if they gonna win in the if Brady gonna win in the head-to-heads, then you feel me that he got it. But I was just a little surprised by that, just considering he just won MVP. I mean, Mahomes being 99, it is what it is. And then another, thing that a lot of people were talking about, some people think that Josh Allen should have been higher than Lamar. And, in terms of ratings and stuff like that, for one, they gave Lamar crazy throw power. They gave him like a 92 throw power.
Yeah, they keep giving him crazy throw power. It's really annoying.
They give him this crazy.
It's really irritating.
On top of his 96 speed and everything like that. Yeah. So you feel me? There's just no way Josh Allen was going to be better than that. But at least this time, Josh Allen will probably get a superstar. I don't know if Lamar is going to get an X factor, but he'll definitely at least be superstar.
Josh has 99 throw power, by the way.
He does have 99 throw power, which, it's pretty accurate. He's definitely the strongest thrower in the league.
Yep.
So that's my thoughts on the top 10.
Of all the people, by the way, thank you so much for everyone who filled it out. I gave everyone, well, not everyone, I gave some people an opportunity to do the most overrated, underrated players from the top 10. So Josh Allen was the only player that people thought were underrated, and no quarterbacks got overrated.
Actually got one more that I forgot to mention. But Dak Prescott and Ryan Tannehill being, equal to me was a little. I thought Dak Prescott, even though he got hurt, the flashes that he showed at the start of the season, he looked like he was about to go crazy that season. Even though his team was going ass, and we got to take wins into consideration. Dak Prescott was having an amazing season, especially considering how Zeke wasn't quite as good, and Derrick Henry was literally the best player in the league last year. But
what's interesting is that people are saying Josh Allen should be over Lamar, and just like no one mentioned he should be over Deshaun Watson. I think he should be over both, but I just think that's funny because that's obviously why is Lamar low?
I don't know, just because Deshaun Watson, this is like his first year without a high level receiver. After the DeAndre Hopkins trade, and every time he had them, I'm pretty sure they were in the playoffs every year when he had them.
They were, but this is Josh Allen's first year with one, and they made the conference championship.
Well, what they said in terms of how they rate quarterbacks, I actually looked online on Twitter. So they said that it also takes like career into consideration. So it's not just like you had a breakout year, now you're this, but it's like if you've been doing it continuously. We know that Josh Allen didn't have like the great first few years into the league. So, the first couple. I know he was hurt the 1 year, but
he was an MVP candidate last year.
He was an MVP candidate last year. But Deshaun Watson had years of being a top 5, in my opinion. He was a top 5 quarterback, in my opinion. Until this year.
Yeah.
And that's only because he had zero help.
And
zero help from the running backs to the receivers. He had no help at all.
There was also a lot of conversation that Aaron Rodgers should be the best quarterback.
Can't just do that though.
Yeah,
Not over Mahomes. He could be tied with Brady, and I wouldn't be mad at that. But he couldn't be over Mahomes. Mahomes is better.
Even though he's the MVP, 48 touchdowns.
Mahomes is better.
Just don't care about
Mahomes is better.
Damn.
And a couple of snubs from the list. Well, not from the top 10 list, but just like a couple lower ratings that I just want to mention. I feel like you said that this is made by Cowboys people.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised Dak is so low considering that. But they definitely made sure.
He's an 87. He's like 8th.
I thought he'd be a little higher. I thought he'd be like 88, 89.
Over who? Oh.
Like an 80. Not like a 9.
You just thought the overall ratings would be higher?
Yeah. I didn't think he'd be a higher tier. I thought he'd be higher than Ryan Tannehill at least. I didn't think he'd be tied with Ryan Tannehill. I would think a Cowboys person would.
Yeah, the Ryan Tannehill thing is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
I mean, Ryan Tannehill did have a great season last year. But again, Derrick Henry was doing shit.
Well, they don't think Derrick Henry did enough.
Yeah.
So they disagree with you on that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They think that Henry's a height.
Yeah.
Man, let's get into it. Top running backs: McCaffrey 97, Henry 96, Chubb 96, Dalvin Cook 95, Kamara 94, Aaron Jones 91, Barkley 90, Josh Jacobs 89, Zeke 88, Joe Mixon 88. That's clearly a blatant contradiction in there. But Dom, what are your immediate thoughts on the running back position?
So obviously, the big conversation that came about was, Derrick Henry not being rated 99 on top of, people were saying McCaffrey deserves his 97, which to be fair, he is the best receiving back in the league. And he's also, one of the best running backs in the league. But again, he was hurt for most of the season. And while that doesn't matter in most cases, they did lower Saquon for being hurt. Saquon was
a lot.
What was he last year? Like a 94, something like that?
Yeah, I want to say something.
Yeah, he was like a 94 last year. They dropped him all the way down to a 90 due to his injury. But McCaffrey was just as hurt. they kept him up there. Well, McCaffrey was in
he played some games. He was on off this season.
And he was in MVP consideration the games that he did play. It was just he didn't play enough of them to really sustain that. But
I mean, like all 5 of the games. He was in MVP.
Yeah, at first they were talking about it. At first they definitely were talking about those first few games that he played. But yeah.
Russell Wilson was also in MVP discussion. He's not a 97.
Well, that is true. But he did start folding towards the end of the season.
McCaffrey didn't play. And the year before when he did play, they didn't win any games anyway.
Yeah. Hey, man. I don't know what they gave Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's here somewhere. But, depending on how they feel about Teddy Bridgewater, maybe they're just like McCaffrey did it all. And they feel and they gave Tannehill his 87. So clearly they're saying Tannehill had more of an impact than we think, even though I believe that, Derrick Henry.
The whole offense was play action.
Yeah.
And throwing the ball to wide open receiver.
Yeah. Because everybody was terrified of Derrick Henry running up the middle.
And he still got 2,000 yards. You know what? By the way, McCaffrey got 2 overrated votes. And I think that's less about McCaffrey and more because Derrick Henry got 2 underrated.
Yeah.
So it's more about everyone's like, why the hell is he not a 99?
Yeah. Basically.
This is the type of stuff that makes you a little annoyed to play Madden, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because the national media is even like, bro, what the hell? They don't even care. They don't play this game. They don't care.
Yeah.
They have no interest in it. So, like, why is Derrick Henry under Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah.
Like, that's the easiest thing from the pickup. It's like, hey, we can make a segment out of this.
Yeah.
Let's just talk 10 minutes about how dumb Madden is. Okay, thanks. And it is dumb.
Yeah.
It is dumb because personally, watching the games, he literally is one of the best 5 players in the league. Just his impact.
I think he's the best player in the league.
You can make that argument. Can definitely make that argument.
Him or like Aaron Donald, I think is definitely between them two right now.
you can make the argument that he's definitely in that because he controls everything when they give him the ball.
Yeah.
And what we saw in the playoffs was for the first time really in a big game. I'd say the Ravens were like, all right, we played this guy like 5 times. Let's just put 9 fucking people in there and say, no, you can't run the ball anymore. Let's make 87 overall beat us. What did he do? Put up 13. So, thanks for that.
Yeah, Dak Prescott was definitely doing more than that with worse receivers because I think A.J. Brown is better than I think. Well, Amari Cooper is.
Yeah, I wouldn't say with worse receivers. As a receiving
Cooper.
core, Cowboys are loaded. They got Mr. Drops.
That's the reason I was just like,
they got Michael Gallup.
They're going to drop every pass.
But they got Michael Gallup too.
Yeah,
they got Michael Gallup too.
Yeah,
and I just don't. This is no reason for Derrick Henry not to be number 1. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And then to have him, no offense to Nick Chubb, because I think Nick Chubb actually deserves 96, but then to have him tied for number 2 as well.
Especially when that was more of a – I mean, Nick Chubb was obviously the better running back, but it was definitely a two-headed monster out there with Kareem Hunt as well.
Completely.
Even though Kareem Hunt got a little snubbed on the Ravens as well. He got 87 speed, so –
Damn.
He's slow as shit.
Damn, that's just killing his trade value for Juan right
Juan
there.
trying to trade
Juan trying to send him for anything.
He asked me to trade Miles for him, so I was like, I don't know about that, bro.
Not an 87. I mean, it's a fullback. I mean, they slept on him. But no, I'm a little surprised. I'm not going to say this is even incorrect, but I am a little surprised that Zeke is an 88 talked about. So they're giving him – that one makes more sense to me even than Dak. I would actually, at this point, put Dak higher than Zeke simply because Zeke was the one losing them all the games last year.
Yeah,
Zeke lost them every fucking fumbling the ball all over the field. It's bad. Also, I'd have Aaron Jones higher than a 91. I feel like he's a little more valuable than that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to put Rodgers at a 96. Yeah. I mean, but Devontae. So they clearly –
Devontae was the 90.
Yeah, Devontae was the 99. I would still have Aaron Jones like a 93. I wouldn't even put him over Kamara.
Aaron was definitely a huge part of their success last year.
Yeah, so I wouldn't necessarily put him over Kamara because Kamara again was another player. He was like a sleeper. He was definitely in the conversation. If their quarterback can't throw it more than 15 yards anymore, and he's just going to be the whole offense.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
They still.
And if Michael Thomas,
they still gave him his 89 speed too. They didn't rank it up to the 90 at all.
Dude, they keep doing this. What the hell? Like, he doesn't just beat people down the field. It's really they just don't like Kamara.
Yeah. They don't want you to be a 94, but he's going to be useless 94.
Yeah, he's very useless.
I was a Saints in BFG 1 year, so I tried. I really did. He was great at catching. He was a really good receiver. I mean, he was a really good running back. He just couldn't go down the field for me. So I was like, all right, well, thank you for this first down. It's good for first downs.
It's good for first downs.
Not good for touchdowns.
It's crazy this one. Well, 2 years ago he didn't, but last year he snapped. Let's go to the wide receiver position, man. We got Devontae Adams first, 99 overall. DeAndre Hopkins, 98. Tyreke Hill, 98. Stephon Diggs, 97. Julio Jones, 95. Michael Thomas, 94. Keenan Allen, 93. Amari Cooper, 92. Mike Evans, 91. Allen Robinson, running at the top 10 with a 90 overall. So, what are your thoughts on this? Overrated, underrated? Just thoughts.
I know. You know who's going to be mad. You know who's going to be mad seeing these Rams.
A lot of people.
Mr. Slam Man himself.
Now, he can't be mad because he complained about his 99 last year and proceeded to not play. So, you know what you can't do now. Do not complain. And he's going to be, obviously, he's going to be out for the first 6 games of this year, too.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he got a surgery late.
So, McCaffrey's the only person that injury doesn't matter for.
Yes. Wonder why that is. Wonder why that is.
Hey, man, Mr. John Gotham said it himself. It didn't even have to be one of us to say it.
I just want it.
It's a little wild, but yeah. Aside from that, though, I'm surprised Julio's a little lower. I know that he's been. I didn't think he would be a 95. Definitely thought he'd be like a 96, 97, like he's been. I don't think he had a significant drop off last season, but I think it's just like I think they're just tired of him at this point.
Bro, I'm tired of him not getting any touchdowns. So I think he's actually.
I think he actually had more last year, but obviously, I think a lot of Julio going down also goes with Calvin Ridley being a 87. I think they're saying Calvin Ridley was a little more important to the receiving core than he was given credit for.
I'm gonna help you out because he's new to football, so I'm gonna help him out. Julio Jones was trash last year, mainly because he was hurt. He only played 9 games, but
I thought he did good last year.
Nope, 51 catches, 771 yards, 3 touchdowns. The only reason you heard, three. That's what he does.
I know that, but damn, I know he only had 3. I guess
the reason you heard so much. Yeah, the year before he was much better. He had 1,300 yards, 6 touchdowns. The reason you heard so much about Julio is because around the trade deadline, was like, trade him, so he cannot play for somebody else.
Nah, because I remember I was talking a lot of shit on Julio. That's why, and people kept telling me, "No, he does score." I'm like, bro, I've never seen him score once in my life.
He scores. You got watch it. It's always early in the game the Falcons are about to blow.
Hey man, he only got 3 touchdowns on the year. Clearly, that's not it either. Clearly, he really just don't do it. I swear, I'll be watching him, bro. Like for the last even the Super Bowl year, bro. I was like, all right, he racks up all these yards, but he's never in the end zone.
So do you think he should have a higher rating, or are you just backtracking on that?
No, what I'm saying is I'm surprised because he's generally
because of what people have told you.
Because of what Madden has generally done.
I'm gonna say I think Keenan Allen should be over Julio and Michael.
I think so.
I really do.
Well, he had 88 speed too.
Ooh.
Keenan Allen.
I don't even think he should be. I mean, he should be. 88 speed's ridiculous.
Michael's an 87 speed.
Wow.
They say you're gonna be useless in this game.
Damn, Saints. They just said fuck y'all. Damn. But no, I do. I think that Keenan Allen is just a little. Well, Michael Thomas obviously because of the injury. I think Michael. It's tough. I mean, last year Keenan also was a little hurt, but he had 100 receptions, almost 1,000 yards, 992, and 8 touchdowns. Just gets to the end zone more. So it's like, I don't know. We're gonna see very early, and Madden does this, and what people obviously don't know, except for us community, is that they're going to change these ratings just probably about like a week into the season. They're just going to keep changing them, blah, 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 blah. But obviously the reason that we're doing it is because it impacts the franchise. So Julio being a 95 is huge. I think he's more of a 94, 93 at this point. That's just me. Some of the wideouts people thought were overrated. One person said Julio. One person actually said Michael Thomas at 94. I think that's a little mean.
He overrated.
I think he's just kicking a man when he's down at that point. Man, Michael Ford at 94 at least.
Yeah.
And Tyreke Hill at a 98 overall.
They thought that was overrated.
Yeah. I disagree. I think he's the best receiver in the league just because of his impact. That's just me. We're not gonna have this conversation. Actually, but I won't fight. I won't fight on Devontae Adams. I won't fight on DeAndre Hopkins.
I do think the main difference with them, though, is that Tyreke Hill, he does have, obviously Patrick Mahomes, but he also has Travis Kelce right there. So that's why his impact doesn't look as strong as, say, Devontae Adams, even though Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones, and then for DeAndre Hopkins, it's Kyler Murray and, not too much else.
Hopkins, I won't argue with Hopkins. I won't argue with Adams, mainly because of what you just said.
Yeah.
Obviously, he does have Kelce. He's got Mahomes. He's got shit. another fast.
Shit, even Clyde is like an 84. So
he's got Andy Reid too. He's got a lot of help.
Yeah.
But I just think that him and Kelsey work so much in tandem.
Yeah.
They don't win if one of the two isn't there.
Yeah.
Right? Because Kelsey gets his 10 catches, 150, but that's because you're all over Tyreke. And then if you try to stop Kelsey, he's gone.
Worst part with Hopkins, bro, is that he's doing all he can to win the game just for Kyler to fold them all away.
Kyler's definitely folding that shit. Hey, but that's why he's not top 10.
Yeah, that's why he only I think he's like an 82 or 84.
Yeah, and I don't even argue with it. I was fighting for Kyler early in the season.
Definitely were.
And I was fighting for him and Russ, fighting for my short kings. They both sold. Started turning the ball. It was the game that it was the you know what it was? It was the game they played each other and just started turning the ball over against each other. That's what fucked up everything. They were both fine until they played each other that one day. And Russ had like 4 picks. Kyle was fumbling the ball, throwing picks. I was like, damn. And they both scored like 30, but it was only because they kept turning the ball over to each other. I was like, oh, y'all both kind of
well, wasn't that his comparison? Wasn't
yes,
Tyler's comparison?
Yes, that is the comparison. That's my point. They both saw each other in the mirror and started holding. It's not great. 2 guys who are underrated, by the way, who didn't get top 10s. Calvin Ridley and DK Metcalf. Which
I believe I know DK is at 89. I think Calvin.
Yeah, DK is 89.
Yeah, and then Calvin is 88. So I think they both got, I mean,
you could put DK over Allen Robinson. He did snap early in the year. Then people started shading coverage. What really killed him was the Jalen Ramsey shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it is Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
And that's the one.
Nah, he did kill Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah, he did. He did destroy that. It was bad.
Stephon Gilmore ain't no way.
That's when the rumblings began. Damn, is DK like the best of them? Obviously he's not. It was like, yo, DK really just like torched him. They kept showing him one-on-ones, beat him. And the problem also is DK in the playoff game, he did beat Ramsey. Just got missed.
Yeah.
That's really what happened. He's like, bro, can you at least like look over here?
Yeah.
I know he good, but damn, you can try. You can try at one time.
Yeah, I think another thing is now Odell fell down there with them. Odell's been, constantly slipping, obviously, because
he's never always play.
Because he's always hurt.
He's just like gonna play 5 games.
My man's McCaffrey's really the only that don't gotta play.
I know what time it is.
I mean, I think them being better without Odell hurt him as well too.
Hey man, McCaffrey can be there and they win 5 games. Cannot be there and they win 5 games. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
it means nothing.
Gets them yards, but it doesn't turn into wins. Not necessarily.
He gets them yards. He's very tough. Very tough player. Don't think I can put it. All right, let's go to tight ends.
About to be excited, aren't you?
Oh, I'm happy. Travis Kelce, number 1, 99. George Kittle, 96. Darren Waller, 95. Mark Andrews, 88. Hunter Henry, 87. Austin Hooper, 86. Gronk, 86. Mecca 85. TJ Hawkinson, 85. And Dallas Goedert, 84 overall. Shocked by the Dallas Goedert love, dude. I'm gonna be happy. You're ecstatic right now.
I am happy. Well, I've been using, just revisiting Madden, playing every now and then, and like they had actually changed it like throughout the season. So they had already made Goddard like better than Ertz. Ertz was at 82 at that point, and now he's just like at 80. So he's just gonna keep falling and falling.
Yeah.
But nah, Goddard definitely got some love out there, and he definitely was the better player towards the end of the season. Obviously, Ertz was hurt a lot, and so was Wentz. Like everybody. Well, Wentz didn't get hurt, but he was just being bad. So, Ertz being hurt definitely gave Goddard more time to shine, and he took it and ran with it. And
Ertz was a little hurt, but Ertz was mainly his ass.
But it was partially because he was hurt as well, though. I don't think he was just naturally that bad.
Part of it was because Carson was still there too.
Yeah, Carson was. Every single player on that roster got better when Jalen became the quarterback.
Maybe don't talk about We're happy, apparently. Jalen Hurts still sucks.
Hey, man, that's what I was saying. That's what I was trying to say earlier with the quarterbacks. Once is a 72 and Jalen's a 71. And I'm like, bro, Jalen is, like, clearly better. Like, clearly better. Like, clearly. The fucking Eagles got in trouble for fucking, what's it called? For benching Hurts. And it's like, if he bad, then, like, how is that tanking?
Man got fired. The New York media came for his job.
He got fired, and then the other dude got traded anyway. So
they straight came for my man's job. Overrated players in time position. Some say Hunter Henry and Gronk.
Damn, Gronk.
I disagree with
that. Dang, Gronk ain't show you enough in the Super Bowl.
I disagree with that.
Gronk was doing his thing in the Super Bowl. Gronk can keep his rating, man.
Honestly, bro, fuck it. I give Gronk another year at 9. I don't care. That man was literally unstoppable.
Yeah.
Unstoppable down the stretch.
Yeah.
Still spamming him. Still doing it.
Yeah, he definitely
spammed him way more than Mike Evans. Way more than AB.
Well, he never had that real connection with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin the same way that he did with Antonio Brown.
Hey, Mike Evans still at 91 overall, however you want to slice that.
Yeah.
Slice however you want. Gronk's at 86. I think that Gronk should be a 90. Slow as he is now, if he's going to catch everything in his radius anyway, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll take him over Austin Hooper. Please and thank you. Underrated player was TJ Hawkinson, and I kind of agree with that. 80, but I think most of these tight ends are kind of getting a little slugs on. I think Mark Andrews is a little over an 88. I think they're all kind of a little low, to be honest. I think Matt's kind of sleeping on the importance of it.
I think Mark Andrews.
You're right. He drops a lot.
Mark Andrews be dropping.
He does drop a lot of passes. They lost that man drop every big. Yeah, I'll take that back.
Mark Andrews be folded, bro.
You're right.
I can't. That's my man's.
But Mark wasn't the name I should have said there because he does drop every fucking pass. I'll take Gronk over Mark for real. I was about to say, maybe I know. I forgot he was in the end zone all last season. Dropping every pass.
Bro, everybody be yelling at Lamar because none of his receivers can catch the fucking ball.
Oh.
Maybe if you throw better, maybe if you have better hands. But hey, man. I mean, that's why Ravens fans were hoping that, they looked at Julio, even though Julio was coming off a bad season. They were hoping that they looked at Julio.
They won't. You'll never get a receiver. Fuck him. I said, no, do it yourself. And we're going to keep our shitty offensive coordinator until you figure it out.
Yeah, and then we're going to trade. I mean, I know he requested to be traded. Then we're going to trade one of our best offensive linemen for a second. Wait, wasn't it like a second that turned into a bird type shit?
It was a Chiefs first, which I appreciate, by the way.
But they gave them a second as well. That's what it was. So they traded Orlando and a second.
Oh yeah,
for a
they
first
did.
For no reason, bro.
No, they had to because he wanted to trade. Well,
no, I know the Orlando thing, but I'm like, why'd y'all give him a second? Not even a third, bro. A second.
Appreciate you.
All they did was move up like 20 spots in the draft.
Yep.
They traded one of their top fucking linemen. One of their top players in general.
Good move. Good job, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
It's a bad decision out there.
Hey, let's get into these defensive linemen, man. First, you got Aaron Donald, 99. Obviously, no one can complain about that one.
Sir.
Fletcher Cox, 94. Chris Jones, 92. DeForest Buckner, 92. Hayward, 92. Michael Pierce, 91. Calais Campbell, 90. Kenny Clark, 89. Stephon Tuitt, 89. And Vita Vea, 88. What are your thoughts on this position? Good thoughts. Thank you.
Let me go to it.
Honestly, I'm a little proud. I will say as much as I hate these developers, getting Fletcher Cox at 94.
I think that was pretty he was really anchoring the whole entire Eagles defense.
He was, yeah, because the second he got hurt.
We
had playoff chances. We really
they got some deep. They have, like 6-10, 7-9, but I guess the playoffs is the playoffs.
Yeah. Gotta take it with Hurts.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Just to see.
That would have been fun. I mean, I don't think he would have done too much in there just off his first run, but it definitely would have been good.
Would have been learning the Bucs. Yeah, you would have just been there.
Yeah.
I would have been able to see.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see. That's fine. The Eagles won, so that's fine. But yeah. DeForest Buckner, I like the fact they have him up there. I really can't argue with any of these, but I will say someone that people have underrated, Grady Jarrett. I feel that. I feel like Grady Jarrett could probably be a 90. Very good player, very good run stuffer. Man, Dom has no what.
No, it's not doing what I wanted to do. I'm asking them for defensive tackles. They're not fucking. I'm on the website, the Madden website.
Yeah, they're saying fuck you.
Yeah, they are saying fuck you. They're saying you should know it by now already.
Yep, you should. Told you, man. You just got on a screenshot list. This is what we call coming in.
This is why you have 6 Super Bowl rings. I don't have any yet.
Not yet. Okay, let's go to the fuck in. Sorry, fat man. That's all I got for y'all. But let's go to the edge rushers.
Pass rushers. Let's go.
Myles Garrett, 98, leading the charge. Khalil Mack, 96. TJ Watt, 94. Chandler Jones, 94. JJ Watt, 94. Cam Jordan, 93. Von Miller, 93. Joey Bosa, 92. Nick Bosa, 90. Darius Smith, 89. Let's just get it out the way now. We all know who's overrated on this list, I hope. Believe. Gotta go with one JJ Watt. I just don't think he's a 94 overall at this point of his career. By the way, 2 people agree with that. He was tied for the most overrated on this list, as well as Christian McCaffrey.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn JJ, damn Christian.
Well, they both hurt.
Yeah.
And not as good as the other people. Although JJ was 4th on this list, 5th, so it's a little different.
Yeah, he wasn't first on the list.
But I don't think he's better than Cam Jordan at this point. I don't think he's better than Von Miller. As much as Von Miller has issues. You do got some problems.
Nigga fucked up the bag for no reason, man. All you gotta do is not tell somebody that.
Man, I was straight been on Nick. Living the dream.
Got the bag back. He was with them last year too. That was the worst part. So he already had the contract settled. He just had to keep it and not tell somebody to report the shot.
You could even do that, but just not the way he did it.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
It was pretty bad. I honestly would probably have JJ down at 9. I think the Bosa's are better than him too.
I think Daniil's better at this point. Daniil Hunter.
I think Darius is better too. Yeah, I don't know why he's still at 94. That's kind of fucking ridiculous, actually.
Would you take Brian Burns over him? Brian Burns really, developed last year. Came really good. Defensive end out there. I mean, again, mind you,
the difficult thing with all this,
JJ was hurt for the most part.
The thing that they're trying to do is that sometimes see they're trying not to give the umpires too much.
Yeah.
Because they know. I mean, now they know. Well, they know now that franchise matters a lot, so they're trying to do things with it. I don't want to give them too much credit either for foresight or anything like that. I think part of the reason JJ's at 94 though is because he's older.
Yeah.
They don't want to give younger guys too much. So that's why with Burns, I'd be like, what do you think JJ should be overall?
Probably he's still a 90 to me. Probably like a 91. I think a 91.
So you think Burns should be like a 92? That's like a question.
Damn. I think Burns probably like a 90.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I don't think he's like that. You just need one more season.
Yeah.
Just need one more season. The crazy thing though is looking at this, obviously, look at some of these D lines. Jake really got a stacked D line now with Chandler Jones and JJ Watt.
Yeah.
That's crazy. They're both going to be superstars for sure. And obviously, we'll get to it, the defense as well. And TJ Watt, can't argue at all his 94. Maybe should be a 95, 96, to be honest.
Yeah, TJ Watt definitely
fucking defense. And then
but the other end as well. Not Hayward.
Dupree.
Yeah, Dupree. He was definitely a big part of that as well.
Nah, he was
both
huge.
got hurt. They both got hurt, and that's when their defense.
Well, when Dupree got hurt, I even said it. I was like, oh. I said that they had a chance because it was like, the second he got hurt, I was like, nope. And they didn't win another game. He got hurt in the last game of the year.
Yeah, fell apart.
Because they needed all of the defense to protect Big Ben. They needed every fucking body.
That offense is just.
It's awful. It's terrible. That's why we didn't mention any other names in the top 10s because none of them deserve it, obviously.
My man's Mr. Corvette. He can't go out there and do nothing, bro.
Chase Claypool gonna fight for it.
Nah, Chase Claypool, he was definitely the one.
He gonna fight for it.
He was the lone spot. He was the lone bright spot out there. I mean, it's obviously gonna be Ben's last season. They just brought in Dwayne Haskins. I don't know. Is Dwayne Haskins even playing? Didn't something happen with him?
He got hit by his wife, his fiance.
He lost it too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that won't stop him from playing, but
no, it'll just
once they realize Ben is garbage, then I mean they looked decent in the stretches that they had, Mason Rudolph out there.
Oh yeah, I was about to say they looked decent in the stretches with their defense, like the 85 Bears.
Yeah. Nah,
when they also were playing
for their offense stuff.
Rudolph looked
Mason
Rudolph definitely looked better than Big Ben for sure.
Yeah.
We still don't have a Steelers user, but there's a reason for that. So don't blame me off of that one.
Hey man, don't nobody feel like dealing with motherfucking Lamar at his 96 speed.
Hey man, you got TJ Watt, Hayward, and Tuitt.
I mean, their defense is nice as fuck.
It's fucking great.
No, their defense is incredible, but it's just like that offense really is just going to be a true work in progress.
Man, I might take the Steelers. So I
I was really strongly considering taking them, and then I saw Lamar's 96, and I was like, nah, Jacob, you got that. I can't be talking shit to you if you're just gonna run all over the field on me like that. You can't do that. And then I thought Kareem Hunt was gonna be a little better, but Nick Chubb gonna be a 96. Yeah. I'm cool, bro. And then the Browns got that defense too. Yeah. Myles Garrett out there. No, I'm good. I'll stay in my division.
Lighten up, superstars.
I'll stay in my division.
Damn, you hear that, AJ? Don't respect you. Speaking of which, since we're already halfway headed there, let's just go back to why AJ really switched from the Giants. It's because Saquon's only a 90.
Yeah,
it's the whole reason.
Now my man's Dylan. My man's Dylan's gonna have fun with that, and he's hyped with Daniel Jones at his 88 speed. So
it's a bad situation. At least he got the respect of the speed because if he's just going to run for 90-yard touchdowns.
Yeah, well, almost for 90-yard touchdowns. He did fall in the midst of it. He had another one that was like 30, 40.
He booked it.
But that like 70, 60-yard touchdown, that nigga did straight just fall. Just lost his balance. Looking straight like a fast Eli. That shit was the most Eli Manning shit with speed thing I've ever seen in my life.
Damn. Well,
back at it again.
Hey, let's get to these linebackers. We got Fred Warner, highest rated linebacker at 94. Vontae David at 93. Bobby Wagner, 92. DeMario Davis, 91. Eric Kendricks, 90. Darius Leonard, 89. Roquan Smith, 88. Dante Hightower, 87. Miles Jack, 86. Deion Jones, 86. What are your immediate thoughts on that?
All right. So, Bobby Wagner is great and all, and he's still good, but you can't be anchored in like a bottom defense in the league and still be a 92.
Is this Bobby Wagner slander right here?
It's not slander. He's a great player still, but Seahawks were really fucking bad at defense. He was right there. not as impactful.
Bobby Wagner, man.
Hey man, Bobby Wagner was one of the key pieces to their 2-title run. Not 2-title, but their 2 Super Bowl appearance runs where they won one, lost the other. But he was a big piece of that. And then this is just 8 years later. He's still a great player, but he just doesn't have the same impact as he did when he won the Super Bowl MVP that year, right? The year or was it Earl Thomas?
It wasn't Earl Thomas. It was
That's
Malcolm.
so many niggas.
It was Malcolm Smith.
They had so many niggas.
Malcolm Smith won it because he had a pick 6.
Okay. Yeah. I
really could have just gone to the whole defense.
Yeah, literally.
Beat the shit out that one. I'm so mad.
What the fuck was happening?
Bro, I told my dad, I was like, bro, can you please, this is like young me. I was like, bro, Seattle's really about to win this game. Can you please put money on the Seahawks? Obviously, he didn't do it for the 10th time.
Yeah.
I just watched him smoke them. It's a one hit. Cam just hit him one time. His superstar lit up the shit out of that dude.
Yeah. Nah, they all went crazy back
No, they
then.
all did.
But now, years later, most of them are gone, obviously. And Bobby Wagner, I'm pretty sure he's the last one left at this point.
You know what's shocking to me? Looking at these linebacker ratings, because I'm tired of your Bobby Wagner saying
it's not slander.
Will not have anymore.
It's not slander.
What? I'm a little surprised about. I'm a little surprised about. I don't see anyone else from that defense on the defense list. They all suck. Actually, that's not true. There's one more guy from the defense on the list. We'll get to him in a minute. Though. My big gripe with this entire thing, I honestly don't. I think Fred Warner should be a little higher than 94, like 95, 96.
Yeah,
Devontae David, I'm actually fine with 93. My big gripe with this is Darius Leonard at 89. He was leading the Colts defense the entire season.
Yeah.
With really not much of an offense and not much help. They shouldn't have been quite as. I mean, DeForest Buckner's really good.
Yeah.
Obviously, they traded that first round and he really improved it a lot. But they shouldn't have been, I don't think, quite as good as they were. And Darius Leonard was leading the entire charge because he was making. Again, that's what I mean. He was a more aware version, an older version of Devin White because he was making a splash play every game, going crazy every game. But he would make the play that would win the game ultimately. Yeah. So I think he should definitely be. And I saw some slippages with Eric Kendricks. You can even argue, when dude is definitively his dog. You can make an argument that Wagner has some slippages. So I think Darius Leonard should really be third for almost this. I think he should be 92, 93 to me personally. It's kind of crazy that it isn't because they were the top 3 defense in the league last year. With the Colts went crazy. They went crazy on defense. They were like, why is their defense so good? It's literally just because of him. Yeah. It's literally just because of him making plays all the time, just running side to side. So that's just me personally. Let's get into these cornerbacks.
Got Mr. 99 himself, Jalen Ramsey.
Yes, sir. You think he earned it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Him and Donald were two of the main pieces that took them into the playoffs. And Jared Goff was struggling, had a struggle season last season. I mean,
when he gets 78 now.
They brought in the backup, and the backup was looking fine until he got hurt. But they're just not gonna have a quarterback at all.
Yeah,
it's gonna be pretty hard.
Yeah. So yeah. Ramsey 99, Gilmore 97, Eric Alexander 95, Travis White 93, Humphrey 92, Xavier Howard 91, James Bradbury 90, Denzel Ward 89, Kendall Fuller 89, Darius Slay 88. So any other thoughts on the rest of that list?
I would put personally, I think that Jair is a little better than Gilmore at this point. Personally, I think that he had a bigger impact.
DK just ruined Gilmore's your whole perspective.
He didn't ruin the perspective on him, but I just think Jair, I think he had a big impact on why the Packers, did so well out there. And mean, there wasn't much help that what's his name, Stephon Gilmore had out there outside of Devin McCourty, but still, man, I just think Jair was just a little better last year.
Man, can't get beat one time. Can't get beat one time. Just bicep speed.
Hey, man, that's why Jalen Ramsey got 99. Jalen Ramsey got the 99 off that.
It's true. That's fair. To me, this is kind of just different as philosophy. I love splash plays. Xavier Howard led the league in picks last year. He literally was like part of it. He, to me, was the driving force of that Dolphins team. And everyone looked up at why are the Dolphins winning games? Part of it was Fitzpatrick. And they put two in the net and all that. But before that, they were just getting turnovers all the time. And Xavier Howard was going crazy out there.
Yeah.
He just kept making plays out there.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough, though. I don't want to put him over Marlon Humphrey.
Marlon Humphrey was making those big splash plays too.
He was I'm thinking about the Chiefs games, but it's really more so because of the philosophy. The Dolphins didn't just leave him on an island with that.
Yeah.
Like the Ravens were just like, hey, we're gonna blitz him. We're gonna put Tyreke Hill along with Humphrey. Or worse, Marcus Peters.
We'll hope for the best.
We'll hope for the best. And Hill's like, no, that won't work. So it's a little different in philosophy, I feel like. And Marlon's more of a man defender. Howard's more of a like a Samuel, for an example. And the rest of these guys are more man defenders. So I understand why it's a 91, I guess. I feel like I would just have maybe, I don't know, give Humphrey a 92, give Howard a 90. Or give Humphrey a 93, give Howard a 92. But he just earned a little more respect than 91. But again, that's just me. As long as he's, I guess, probably superstar, it's fine. Just deserves acrobat. That's all I'm saying. So we get 8 interceptions.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Other than that, no real arguments. Slate 88, I like that too. I'm kind of happy that at least the developers didn't think he had a bad season because he again was the only player on defense other than Fletcher Cox worth any shit.
Yeah.
So respect that as well. And yeah, I mean Ramsey 99, one of those. There's 4 99s, right? It's Holmes, Donald.
It's 5.
Yeah. Holmes, Donald, Kelsey. Who else?
Devontae.
Oh, Devontae. Yeah. And we saw them go head to head, and it was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Jalen was winning most of the time, but Devontae still got his touchdowns. Still slants in there. I give him slants, baby. I give him slants.
Hey man, he don't get called out for it though.
No, because he does go down the field. Well, because he doesn't cry about it.
And he don't be talking shit.
He doesn't talk shit. He doesn't whine. He doesn't cry. He just wants some money. Gotta respect that. And so, last but not least, top safeties. We got Honey Badger 95.
Damn. Man, Snap is still
earned it.
Yeah, for sure.
Dragons. Buda Baker 93, Devin McCourty 92, Jesse Bates 91, Justin Simmons 91, Jamal Adams 90, Harrison Smith 90, Eddie Jackson 89, Adrian Amos 89, Minka Fitzpatrick 89, top 10. What are your thoughts on this one, Bob? A lot of people were mad.
Yeah, Minka was the one that everybody was sitting there like, hold up, he's better than him, he's better than him, he's better, like type shit.
I mean, Minka was like the best. The whole – it's so interesting, man. It sucks that Bud Dupree got hurt because I really would have wanted to see.
Yeah.
They would have had everything, and then they would have just had people just on your ass, and then can't throw down the field because Minka there. So you would have had to kind of try to attack, I guess, Joe. And then to make it worse, it wasn't even just Bud. It was the rest of the linebackers. All the middle linebackers got hurt, too.
Yeah.
So it was like, damn, it's got a whole fucking body out there with TJ Watt and Minka. And, like, I think Cam missed the game because of COVID, too, or something like that. Cam Hayward.
Yeah.
So, like, their defense just became shambles in the form of 3 weeks, mainly because they had to play that Thursday night game against the Ravens. But regardless of all that, everything just came apart. And so Mecca is one of the people who gets the blame for that, even if you really look at how they lost, it was because they didn't have a linebacker to start getting on. Then everything will start running on you, then everything's going to be open for these easy passes.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mecca, of all people, he got five votes for underrated, way more than everybody else. The best.
Oh, he was by far the most underrated.
Other person underrated was Derrick Henry at 3. No one else got more than 2 votes at all. But Mecca with 5, everyone's like, yeah, this is kind of fun to make this.
Yeah.
So there's no HB rating now. Got to be at 92, 93 minimum.
Yeah.
Because he's one of the best safeties in the league. And that singular trade was the one. Now, the one thing is the Dolphins end up being okay. That singular trade was like, oh, what the hell?
What are y'all doing out here?
We can't just openly tank.
Yeah.
And it instantly made it was everything the Steelers defense needed. It made them into one of the best defenses in the league. And if that's going to be the whole reason the Honey Badgers, well, not even just that, that's going to be the whole reason that the Honey Badgers knocked 5 is because he came in there and impacted the whole team.
Yeah.
Got to give Mecca some of that kind of respect.
Yeah.
And one of the people that people thought were overrated was Budda Baker. And when you really put it in perspective, I mean, if Baker's going to have, well, Chandler Jones was hurt last year. I believe Chandler Jones got hurt last year. Someone on the defense got hurt last year. But if he's going to have some help and still be a 93, you're just going to put, and he's younger too. He did just get in the league. You're going to put Mecca at an 89. I think that's what made people mad. It wasn't even McCourty. McCourty could get the old head 92. It's fine about that. People didn't even want to take it away from Jesse Bates. It was really, they were tagging 2 people. 2 people were getting tagged. And I don't disagree with it at all. Amos and Eddie Jackson. I can't disagree with you on this. Because he's better than both of those guys. He's better than both of those players. I hate to say it. But, hey, man, it is what it is. One of Jamal Adams still probably has him for, so that's going to be interesting. But yeah, Jamal Adams, he's a blitzer, so at 9, I don't mind that. But yeah, obviously, I think you got to get more respect, man. Hopefully, they got yelled at enough, and I think within like 2 weeks, they're going to make it a 92, 93. But that won't help whoever gets the Steelers. So, sorry, sucks. Hey, man, any other thoughts you got on these rankings, anything?
I mean, we pretty much hit through everything. I mean, one big one that we actually didn't talk about was, Justin Herbert being an 80 overall. A lot of people think that he deserved higher than that. He was breaking records his rookie season. And we were looking at him and we were like, wow, this dude actually might be, Joe Burrow obviously got hurt, so we don't know how great he would have been. But
we counted
Justin, I mean, in the 4 games, but Justin Herbert was doing it the whole season. And he had, his rookie mistakes. Obviously, but he definitely showed a lot of promise during his rookie season.
He had better receivers than Joe Burrow. Don't talk about it.
Did have Keenan Allen right there.
And Hunter Henry. And Mike Williams. They're loaded. They had no offensive line.
Hey, man. Phillip Rivers couldn't do nothing with it. So towards the end. Not towards the end.
No, not towards the end. They just about had the same record, though, or whatever. Okay. I hear you.
Yeah.
Nah, it's because they coaches everywhere. Defense is pretty bad.
Didn't Joey Bosa get hurt too?
Did he?
I know Nick did.
No, yeah, Nick got hurt.
I know Nick did, but did Joey get hurt?
I don't think he got hurt. I think toward the end. There was something came out. Something happened to Bosa toward the season. Anyway, whatever. Thank you guys, man, for listening, for joining us on this edition. Can't wait. We're going to be doing a lot more preseason stuff, obviously. I know some of you, Des and Juan, are going to complain that we didn't go team by team. We're going to do a little more of that later. There's plenty of time. You have a whole month to relax.
Yeah.
Sit back. Chill out.
Relax.
Yeah. We will be back, obviously.
Some of this.
Yeah. Good butts stick together. Never forget that. And, amen, thank you guys so much for listening. Hopefully, let's get you a little more excited about the season. I'm ready. The shit talk is already on high. I've avoided the chat for a little bit because I was busy. And I looked up and there were 3,000 messages. So that was fantastic. It's great. Yeah.
Definitely been a lot going on in there.
I had nothing to do with anything. Can't wait to, again, be bothered when September comes, man. It's going to be great. Every day, just asking, what's up with advance? We just advanced 4 hours ago. It's going to be great.
And for everybody listening, Fletcher Cox on the board, Darius Leonard on the board, everybody's on the board. If you want anybody from the Eagles, just hit me up and let me know.
I'll take Slay.
All right, for what?
Talk about that later.